I witnessed the ships as they rose up from a very low point. Experts and witnesses have been working for decades to solve the mystery surrounding the isolated Alaska Triangle. Renowned for kidnappings by aliens, the Alaskan Triangle is home to some of the world's deepest seas, with the Gulf of Alaska reaching an incredible 26,000 feet. However, Alaska is also concealing an extraterrestrial base beneath its frigid waters, which explains Bigfoot sightings, paranormal activity, and disappearing airplanes. Prepare for some terrifying encounters and UFO sightings that have been reported in the Alaska Triangle recently. Hello and welcome to Z. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. People have been obsessed with aliens and UFOs for decades, but despite multiple confirmed sightings, mainstream scientists and astronomers refuse to acknowledge the existence of extraterrestrial life. Why do you think they are so afraid of acknowledging the possibility that another civilization is more advanced than our own? Could it be that accepting this possibility will spark mass hysteria, or that all official statements from the authorities were lies or a cover-up? The second option seems more likely, especially in light of the numerous eyewitness reports of UFO sightings in the Alaska Triangle. We have repeatedly heard from UFO hunters that aliens are already on Earth and coexisting with humans, but if that is the case, why don't we see them? Where are they hiding? It appears that the answers are becoming more apparent than ever. For example, did you know that 71% of Earth is made of water, meaning that only about 30% of the planet is land, and we haven't explored? What's more intriguing is that only 5% of the planet's water bodies have been studied, meaning that over half of our planet is hidden from view. The vast ocean around Earth may be the ideal location for a covert extraterrestrial colony. There is compelling evidence that there is some sort of underwater UFO base in Alaska, because that's the only way we could explain the numerous sighting reports in the area. Over the last 40 years, there has been reports of underwater UFO activity. These UFOs have been tracked underwater, stayed underwater for a long time, evaded the Navy, and we don't know where they're going. With over 3 million lakes and 33,000 miles of uncharted shoreline, UFO researcher Johnny Enoch is certain that aliens have established underwater bases in the region. He has been attentively monitoring these sightings. There is no better spot for aliens to hide than the Alaska Triangle if they were searching for a place to settle on Earth. When Dan Willis was serving in the Naval Communications, a UFO was initially seen in Alaskan waters in 1969. It was a typical workday for Willis when he unexpectedly received a message from a ship that was far off the coast of Alaska, coming in through a Morse code channel. The crew reported a business object just off the port side of their ship. They saw a large, brightly glowing reddish-orange elliptica. Willis was a certified high-speed code operator who worked in the code room at the Naval Communications Station in San Francisco. He had a top secret with extra-sensitive material handling security clearance, and that's when he received a secret priority message from a ship that changed his life. You should be aware that Willis hadn't revealed this information until it was safe to do so. It was a really strange message, which I'm reading as I decipher Morse code. Willis knew that he had just received a report of a UFO sighting. It was 1869, and he couldn't imagine anybody on Earth having that type of technology. To Willis, it was clear as day that this strange object was of extraterrestrial origin. Although the news was massive, it was against the law to make an event like that public under the 1953 Espionage Act. He was torn between his legal duty and the urge to divulge this secret. Willis even considered making a copy of the message, but he knew if he did, that he would face 10 years behind bars for that single transgression. Instead, he decided to take the matter up with his superiors, who then forwarded it to the highest ranks of the U.S. Navy. This wasn't like anything Willis had ever experienced before. After all, he had initiated a cycle where an official Navy secret report was going to the Chief of Naval Operations. This was not part of his everyday reality. Can you guess what happened to the top secret report? It never saw the light of day, just like hundreds of UFO sighting reports that have been shoved under the rug. Although Willis could not ruffle any feathers, he was convinced that something unusual was happening in Alaska, so he started digging and was shocked by what he found. I've been researching through, and there's a number of reports I find of discs coming out of the ocean near Alaska. This particular report happened all the way back in the summer of 1945. This report was of an incident that happened in the summer of 1945. An Army transporter ship De La Roth was heading past Adak, one of the Union Islands in the southwest corner of Alaska. Suddenly, one of the crew members spotted ripples in the water just a mile from their ship, and before he knew it, a large round object had emerged from the sea. According to the report, this extraordinary object was massive, almost 150 to 200 feet wide, and started circling the boat. As you can imagine, the crew aboard was terrified by what they were witnessing. What was the large object that emerged from the sea, and why was it rotating around their vessel? The crew reported that the circular object was quiet, unaffected by surrounding winds, and seemed on its own propulsion system. Although the sailors were scared for their lives, they decided to hold their fire for fear of provoking an attack. In hindsight, it was a good defense strategy, because the flying object took off after circling the ship 2 to 3 times. The ship continued on its course and reached Seattle without any exciting encounters or reported sightings of the UFO. There were 14 members of the crew, including a radio man, who had witnessed this bizarre object. They signed a summary and reported this incident, but when they returned to shore, the top secret report compiled by the crew was shelved. This is just one of many UFO sightings Willis was able to identify through his research. He believes there is a pattern in all these reports. Beverly is one of the eyewitnesses who claims to have seen things emerge from the ocean and blast off at an incredible speed. Sue Waltz claimed to have seen hundreds and thousands of weird things ascending from the water's deep. As soon as she peered at them through her binoculars, the objects shot up straight. Sue Waltz witnessed not one, but numerous mysterious flying objects coming from the ocean. Though she was deeply shaken by what she had seen, she was certain that the objects were not military or man-made because of the way they silently emerged from the ocean and vanished into the skyline at astonishing speeds, providing evidence that they were not from this planet, but rather the product of a civilization far more advanced in terms of technology than humans were. If Beverly's report of seeing a fleet of UFOs emerging from the Alaska Triangle is accurate, then there's little doubt that extraterrestrials are living in the area and that they do so underwater. Some UFO researchers even think that extraterrestrials can travel between locations via underwater wormholes, eliminating the need for them to cross the ocean. Do you believe that aliens are present in the Alaska Triangle, and do you think it's possible? Post your thoughts in the space provided for comments below. Press the like button. For more exciting space videos, hit the notification bell and subscribe to our channel if you liked this one.